Yeah. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Roosevelt Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We back again, man. This is a Friday. Told y'all we will be, back in effect, bringing that content back on Fridays now. Um, yeah, man. We got a great show for y'all tonight. You know, we got Cool Daddy in the building. Said his name is Cool Daddy. We got 100P in the building. We got a few more to join as well this evening. But before we get this show started, man, y'all know we got to run that world's famous intro. We'll be back in a minute, man. I'll see y'all in a minute, man.
Sound like I've been in the studio watching hit cook. Cali State of Mind took a play out of his book. Type of shit you sub at the light and get your shit took. Soprano section humming like angels with their wings clipped. Like drugs being sold in the 80s, I get the fiends tips. Surviving generational curses on some king shit. Doing whatever I wanna when I see that I pop out once in a while. TMZ clip, childish ways, put them away. We on some grown man. Stocks and bonds, level the plan, fit on your own land. Roots through the blood of my people, but on the wrong sand. It's like being given a cause, but play the wrong hand. My DNA witnessed the streets, and it was cold in. For cutthroat killers and bitches, I took it all. My uncle found his way to the grave, drinking tall cans. Somewhere in that book they call life, to say we all can. Forever keep a running on me. It's been plenty nights trying to survive in these streets. CA on the 10AZ. Renegade mission is so much we don't sleep. We connected like this, it's on me. No surrender, nigga, never no retreat. We have to make one for the streets. Forever keep a running on me.
Yeah, man. Welcome back to the Roosevelt Show. Hold on, man. We dropped these bombs up in here one time, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. What's up? Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me ring that alarm, man. It's been a minute. One more time for it, man. One more time for it. Yeah, man. Welcome back to the Roosevelt Show, man. Like I said, I am your host, Roosevelt. We got my guys up in here, man. It is a Friday evening. I hope everybody had a great day. Uh, if you didn't, it's Friday. Let it loose. You know what I mean? Uh, like I say, man, got my guys up in here, man. We got Milo up in here, man. I know it's
Yo,
been a
yo.
minute. Yeah, it's been a minute since you seen Big Brother Milo on the Roosevelt Show because the Roosevelt Show ain't even been here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But he is back, man. Big Milo, what's cracking with you this evening, man? How you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. All love. Glad to see you back in full effect. Glad to be back on the show with you. Yes, sir.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Milo is a great man, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say that. You know what I'm saying? He's a great man. Sent the brother some books, man.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Got me in these books, man. You know what I'm saying? Higher learning, education, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, Milo. Honey Pete, the host of the West Side of the 110, man. That thing on fire over there. What's going on with you, Pete?
Same old shit, man. Just walking these streets of LA, looking at the bullshit, the fuckery, looking at our mayor Karen Bass with this bullshit going on. But hey, that's another story. But I'm all good.
Yeah. It's a lot of bullshit going on, most definitely. Long as you ain't walking on fig, you know what I'm saying, then Some would say it's all good. Yeah.
Well, walking on there may be a stress reliever.
Well, for some, most definitely, most, most definitely for some. Yeah, man. But it's good to be back, man, in full effect, man. Uh, hopefully everybody, had a great week this week. Um, as y'all can see, it's a lot of things out there that's going on in the world. They say, you know, there's been three unusual weather events in the United States uh, that hasn't occurred in more than 1,000 years. Um, one in New Mexico, one in Texas, and one on the East Coast recently with that hurricane. Uh, Milo, you being down there in Texas, man. Let me ask you first off: have you felt the effects of that flood? And if you have, or if you haven't, like what is the vibe down there? You know what I mean? Like as far as that flood is concerned.
Yeah, that flood was real devastating. It made the river rise, I want to say like 20, 30 feet in a matter of hours. And the communities along the river, that haven't happened. So a lot of people got flooded out. People were crossing bridges in their car. The car got swept away. It
Hmm.
there was a camp that some girls were at, just hanging out at like a summer camp along the river. They got
Hmm.
washed away. It was a real tragic event. And they were forced. I think we talked about this maybe about a year or two ago. They were forced to admit that they were playing with the weather. They admitted to seeding the clouds to make it rain, but they say, "Oh, we didn't make it rain this much. That was something else." But remember, I had talked about HARP.
Hmm.
HARP.
Hmm.
Man, they still playing with the weather. They backfired on their behind.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I do remember you talking about that, like to where uh it was like they send up planes and stuff like to create weather events. I remember you telling me about that. Um, that's crazy, man. Uh, shout out to the people in Texas, man. Condolences to the loved ones out there that may have lost their life during that tragic event. Um, I've been seeing something while we on this topic. I've been seeing something on social media about, I think it's this black lady. I forget her name, but she says that this is kind of like karma, if you want to say, for communities down there, based off of, she said, she mentioned something about Katrina, like how nobody cared, so why should somebody care about that? She mentioned something about you know the the Trump supporters, like she felt like this was washing them clean. I don't know, but I thought that was crazy as hell for her to say that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, she was out of line for saying that. Like the
yeah,
same day or the next day after these kids died. You don't do that.
right. Like it was crazy, man. But anyhow, people in New Mexico, just everybody that's been going through this catastrophic situations over the last week or two or so, major flooding. This hasn't been seen in over 1,000 years. It's crazy, but like I said, condolences to all the loved ones and family members out there that lost their lives. um Getting into it, man, I got some topics. I'm gonna bring this up. Devin George, ex, Laker. I think he got a ring with Kobe, either '09 or 10. Back then, um, he's building a factory that makes prefab homes for low income families. For those of you that don't know, like what prefab homes are, they're basically, I mean, they're built with good material, but it's a lot more affordable, for the builders, which in turn makes it available to become a low income, household. It also creates, 315 jobs starting at $31 an hour for those that are hired. I thought this was dope personally. Um, Simply because, like, it's an athlete or an ex-athlete, giving back to the community. um, my question is to y'all, we could delegate. Do y'all think there's enough athletes giving back to the community, especially where they may have came from the ghetto and they making it out? Do you feel like athletes today or even ex athletes are giving back to their community?
I heard he been doing this for a couple of years. He found a way. I think some athletes feel, and I understand, I earn all this money. Why should I give it away? Well, okay, that's one thing. But he found a way to give back to his community up there in Minnesota, wherever it is. I think Minneapolis, right? I may be wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
But
no, you're right.
okay, yeah, that's his hometown. So he basically buying back the block, but he creating multi-use properties, which means it's a business and it gives housing. And now he's building houses around it. So he found a way to give back and make a profit, not necessarily where it basically could pay for itself and he get his money back, but he got the ball rolling and he put a team in place to make it work efficiently and effectively where it keep on going, where he don't have to just empty out his bank account uh, to poor people or to people and he go broke while trying to help other people. That's not a sustainable model to do that. And I agree, but he found a way other people can learn from him how to invest in impoverished communities or working class communities where you helping people is making a profit and you don't have to go broke to do it. It's basically paying for itself.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. And I think that's dope. You know what I mean? That he is able to give back and actually is. P, I seen you come off your mic, man. What you feel about it, bro?
I mean, that's cool. Anytime they give back and it's genuine, I mean, that's good. Somebody like him, he was a popular player on the Lakers. I don't think, me personally, I don't think he'll go in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he is in the Hall of Fame, but he was a popular player, and you would expect that from somebody of a higher caliber player who probably made more money. But it was just good to know that some people, with the amount of money that they did make, that they're doing something positive with for the community. So that's always good.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk, man. Uh do y'all feel like there's enough ex athletes giving back? Like, do you feel like we should, I mean, outside of, LeBron James, he made the, um his community sister center, excuse me, I am, out there in Cleveland. And you hear every now and then, a few, but do you think there should be more? Is my question. Do y'all feel it should be more athletes that do this? Or is it a muffled thing that, where we don't hear about it because the media feel like it's unimportant? It goes both ways. I'm just trying to see. You know what I mean?
Right. I know if I was a multi-millionaire, I would. But my heart and my mind leads me to do that. You have to genuinely want your people to succeed, want your people to survive, to move that way. If you are strictly on some individual stuff, you won't be inclined to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that shows what type of character this brother have, and you would hope and wish more athletes could do that. But I really, that's really their prerogative whether
Right.
they do it or not.
Right. No, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I agree 100% with Milo. Also, I just want to add that honestly, we can't really say what they do and what they don't do because some people are not public with stuff. There's a lot of people that do a lot of stuff quietly, just like Kendrick Lamar as a rapper. It just came out revealed that he paid over $347,000 of student lunch debts in the California school system here. So nobody knew that. So so we never know what a lot of these people are doing.
Mm-hmm. That's real. Nah, that's, shout out to Kendrick. for doing that. Like you say,
Yeah, that
maybe
was big. That was big for Kendrick to do that. You're right. That was real big.
yeah, hell yeah, you know. But like you say, P, maybe they don't want to make it public, and maybe but I don't know. I just be feeling like the media will find out all the dirt, but they never go seek out like the good stories like this. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
You're right.
But
You're right.
you
You're
know,
right. At the end of the day, they get
They
money
don't
off
want.
of
They
it.
don't
I'm
want
not
that
saying they
to
get
catch
money
on.
like that.
right, right.
And they don't want
It's a
that idea to catch on, so they don't want to publicize those behaviors because other people might start mimicking those behaviors.
Mm,
fact. Big
mm,
fact.
mm. Yeah, that is
Big
a what the
fact.
f- that is facts because
Big
they
fact.
figure.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead, P.
let's not forget too that even though people do it out of the kindness of their heart, and you don't know who did it, comparison to the people who let everybody know what they did, they still get a tax write off. So let's be aware of that.
You ain't never lied. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you motherfuckers.
They still get that tax write off. Facts, But like I say, man, like we all agree, the media ain't gonna report on that because that might start a domino effect. And then if you fix the hood, then what's the use of policing it? Then now you can't. You know what I mean? It's like a domino effect. So we'll keep that moving like that.
They can't
And
exploit the hood if the hood is fixed.
right, right, that's real.
Yeah, you're right. That's something we got to break though. That domino effect, like something you just said not too long ago about how a lot of these people build affordable housing in these communities.
Hmm. Yeah,
We got to start big. Let's think bigger.
I mean, there is a lot more that can be done for sure. You know, but I do see the pattern, like when some of the brothers and sisters, at least the brothers in the community that we grew up in, when they get to the top and they start giving back to these neighborhoods, it's almost like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's somebody there that want to
Um.
take, you know what I mean? Somebody
Me
want to take
personally, man, we got to start thinking bigger. We think pennies, we gonna make pennies.
what he say on Ray, you think dollars, you get dollars, Mr. Charles. You know what I'm saying?
What?
For real. I got a cold topic, man. I'm glad that I got my fellas and my brothers here with me tonight. Okay, we gonna get into this. And if you watching, anywhere you may watch, jump in these comments and yeah, tell me what y'all think about it. There's a list floating around of, you know, of the United States cities with the finest women in them. It says now going viral. Uh Starting off with Miami, we gonna go one by one. Hold on, we got Milo back. Milo, we back. I'm glad you came back for this part right here. So let's going around with the U.S. finest women in these U.S. cities. It's going viral. We're gonna start at number
I
one.
saw that.
We're gonna start at number one, man. Miami, Florida. Would y'all agree with that? And no shade, everybody
Yeah,
got
I
some
never
different.
been, but I heard there's some beautiful women out there, and
Mhm.
they in competition to look good, so it forces them to work out, stay in shape. A lot of exoticals, so yeah, it may be true.
Yeah. P.
I mean,
Miami.
yeah, I mean, you got beautiful people everywhere, man. You might go to a fucking hit town and see somebody you never thought you'd see there. But I mean, is it the beauty you looking for, or is it the personality? Because in 2025, do you want to be putting up with a beautiful maniac?
That's true. That's true. Now, they would, I agree with you. They probably need to come out with a list of, the craziest women, in some of these states. you know, we might have to put that together actually. You know what I mean? Like who got the craziest women in each state? You know what I mean? Uh
Look on
but in
social
this
media.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's where we're gonna do our data and research from. Look at the news. Who baby mama done bust Craig over the head with a bottle because whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? Like Miami, me personally, like I say, like Milo said, I never been there, so I wouldn't know. But I do know that they call that the BBL capital of the world. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you motherfucker.
The BBL capital of the world, Miami. So if you're looking for a BBL, fellas, get down to Miami. You know, number two on the list, Los Angeles. Now I'm from there. Now I will say, them are some of the most craziest, most
Classiest, ratchetest.
ratchetest, uh, beautifulest, uh, ghettoest. I don't know, man. The list go on and on. But listen,
Will clap a
I,
nigga for you.
you know, hold the pistol. Know what I mean? Them is some of the most thoroughest. You know, nigga go to jail, man. She gonna hold you down and send you. You know what I mean? Some stamps and a pack. You know what I mean? Los Angeles, California. Now, LA is in general as a culture. How they, the women rock their braids. That's you don't see that nowhere else. But it's dope to me. You know what I mean? For some reason. Maybe because that's my taste. I don't know. I can't explain it. 100 P, LA, number two. Do you agree with that on the list?
I mean, LA is so diverse. You got people from all over the world here, so it could possibly be number one. I would say because I think more people come to LA than Miami. I mean, tourists people visit Miami, but I think LA is more of a hot spot than Miami.
So you saying the baddest chicks out there is in LA. You could take it a fat burger, if you want to squirt her, whatever BIG said. Uh
I think you could find any nationality of woman in LA. Not saying you
mm,
can't in Miami, but I'm pretty sure, just say figure of speech, if you have 50 nationalities of women, you will find 50 in LA. You might find 45 in Miami. So you got
mm,
more options in LA. So I can say I agree with it being I agree with it being number two, but just saying it could possibly be number one.
my boy on point. Let me give him a bell. He got points. Got points. Milo, LA, number two.
I
What'd
like
you say,
LA.
Miss?
When I was in LA, I saw some pretty women out there.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I like
Yes,
LA.
sir.
So LA will be at the top of any list. Like I said, if not number one, number two, one of them, one A. LA got some good women.
Yeah, for sure. We gonna move. I'm gonna try to move through this list, quick. New York, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Harlem, Staten Island. They rocking Tims. They got braids out there too. You know what I mean? They'll clear the blick too. Puerto Ricans, Latina, you know what I mean? The flavor. From that side of town to New York. Y'all agree with New York being in the top five?
Yeah. I think that women are more down to earth than LA women because you see a lot of women of the Hispanic community out there, like married and dating, like black people. Like it ain't nothing out here. You don't see that too much. So I think they women are more down to earth than well. That's what makes them in that top five. Also,
Mm-hmm. You get that chili con queso.
And then they have to walk everywhere. They got to walk everywhere. They don't have cars like that, so they stay in shape because they walking 30, 40,000 steps a day.
Never thought about that. So you said a New York woman is a fit woman for sure because she got to walk everywhere she
Most of
going
them
to.
fit. I didn't see too many fat girls when I was out there because they
Mm,
always moving, walk, getting on the subway. Everywhere they want to go, they got to walk, catch the
mm,
subway.
mm. That's dope. Never thought of it like that. All right, number four, Las Vegas. Yes. I'm gonna say off the top. Yes. I'm gonna leave it at that. Uh what y'all think? Vegas? I mean, Sin City? Should it be in the top five?
Too many prostitutes out there. You don't know if you got a regular beautiful chick or a beautiful working chick.
Mm, that's crazy. I mean, outside of it being a fast city and everybody, but a lot of here's the thing: a lot of people or women, men too. A lot of people that live in Vegas come from somewhere else. They don't. It's like a rare percentage that some of them are natives. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna come from somewhere else. So you can kind of look at that like a LA kind of, where it's multicultural. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Vegas is another branch of California because I don't consider, even though Vegas is in Nevada, I mean, that's like California. Depending on where you at, one of the most populated cities in SoCal, LA County, is Palmdale, Lancaster, and that is only 3.5 hours from Vegas. So, it's not
Yeah.
that far from California. So I consider that a branch of Cali.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I would definitely agree. Um, it's definitely got a Cali influence on it for sure. Uh, number five, man. Chicago. Never been, but I know it's cold as a motherfucker there. So I would only imagine, you know, and I from YouTube, some of the, I think isn't Angel Reese from Chicago? Isn't
But she
she?
played there.
She played here. Um, there's somebody that's like an NBA player, a WNBA player. I forget. She from Chicago though. If they built like that and they stack, then yeah, I would put Chicago. I just think of Chicago like the gang violence though. You know what I'm saying? Like you another hood location, right? You know what I mean? Like maybe
Yeah,
that's just me.
I've been
Yeah.
there. I, I've been to Chicago.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been there.
You can
Temporarily working for the airlines, and they had
yeah.
us staying in some hotels that was in a decent area, but it was a 10-minute walk from the hood, so it wasn't
Mhm.
too far from the rowdiness. But Chicago is at the time just like how you see it on TV. Only time I had seen Chicago was watching the Blues Brothers. That was my favorite movie, and
Yeah, yeah, for
and,
real.
and when I got there, I was like, damn. It looked like you see the train that's in the middle of the street, up high. Um,
Them
it was just
subways,
crazy.
them
Yeah, the
what they
subways.
them A trains, what they call them A trains that run the tracks above the streets type
Yeah, I
shit.
don't I don't even know what they call, but I didn't take it, but they known for their deep dish pizza and Polish dogs, and they got some good deep dish pizza and Polish hot dogs out there, man. Some decent food, man. It seemed like anytime you start the further east you go from California, not saying Chicago's the east, but going east of California, you're gonna find good food, and they got some good food in Chicago.
Hmm. Speaking of good food, Houston, Milo.
Oh, yes, yes,
Oh, oh,
yes. You already
oh,
know. Good food, good
hold on.
weather.
Let me ring that bell. Hold on.
Yeah.
Houston, Houston. Tell me
Man,
about.
Houston is legendary. I think the whole country know by now. It's some corn-fed, red beans and rice eating, shrimp eating, boudin eating. You know what I'm saying? Collard green eating. Healthy women out here. And there's also a major international city. It being the fourth largest city in the country, population wise. We got a whole bunch of ethnicities, especially in the
Mhm,
past 25, 30 years. It's all
mhm,
type of flavors along with the homegrown ladies who are from there. But yeah, Houston is definitely top notch when it comes to the
mhm,
ladies.
mhm. I would agree with you with that. I would agree with you on that one.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
Look, and we just gonna go through this. San Diego, that's another LA to me. Orlando, in the same state as Miami, so I could see that. Bay Area again, San Diego, LA, kind of vibe. Tampa, same thing. Miami, Orlando, right? Atlanta, we're gonna stop right there. Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh
You know,
wee.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's
Not too
Milo stomping ground.
Yeah, that's my old stomping ground. Now, that
down
the
there.
thing about it, think about Atlanta. Um, the women outnumber the men heavily,
Mm,
like 12 to 15 to 1,
Jesus
and that's and
Christ.
that's not even accounting for all the gay dudes. So the numbers will be more. You add them in because they don't want no women. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
In fact,
you got to pick of the litter out there.
yo, you know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, nigga.
What the fuck?
Damn. He say the pickings is, for your stickings, man. You know what I mean? Woo. I heard that
It's hard
virus.
to be faithful out there. It'll be hard for you to move out there with a wife. Real hard.
I heard that virus down there is real, real treacherous. You know. So I don't know. You know what I mean? What's the slim possibilities? Yeah, they may be bad, but they may be burning too.
What the
You know what I'm saying? Got to
Instead
be
of
careful.
bad and bougie, bad and burning, huh?
Yeah, you bad and burning. You know what I'm saying?
what the fuck?
Yeah. Uh, Dallas, Texas. I skipped past Dallas. Hold on. Dallas. Wait a minute. Not too far up there from Houston. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
I skipped over Dallas when I was going down the list. Dallas, number
yeah.
10. Made the top 10. Now, let me tell you something. My family from Dallas. My mama from Dallas. Check this out. Mom's was light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Red bone. There's plenty of them down there. I would agree definitely with that for sure. And they good
Yeah.
host women too. You know what I mean? Like they love a man for sure. Down there in Dallas. Uh Austin, Texas, I don't know. That gives me a country vibe. You know, you're gonna get a bunch of snow bunnies down there, listen to country music, drinking some of that Jack Daniels, you know what I'm saying? And they pretty in their own little way, right? But that's all I see for Austin. Newark, New Jersey, kind of give me that New York vibe. DC.
Man, I dated a girl from Newark for five
Oh,
years. I met her in Atlanta. They very
oh,
blunt, talk a lot of shit, have a lot of attitude. Even they look good. She look good, but you got to deal with some attitude. Trust me.
mm,
Hey, my dad used to work in New Jersey when he was working at the airlines. They had sent him when he was working at Continental. They had sent him to Newark, New Jersey. And we used to fly out there on the weekend. So I got a taste of how the East Coast was a little bit. And man, I was like, wow, it's wild over here.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Uh, DC. I just see a bunch of lawyers. You know, uh, going to work in they business attire. You know what I mean? Uh, Detroit. Wait a minute, Detroit.
What the fuck?
I ain't got nothing against Detroit, but I just see there was a song. I don't know if y'all remember years ago. I wish I could find it. I forget the name of the song, man. But Detroit just got that. You know what I mean? That they gonna have on that puff jacket with that fur around the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it just got that hood vibe. I don't know. Jacksonville, maybe. Scottsdale, Arizona. I live here. It's a bunch of snow bunnies up there.
Yeah,
So
tell us
that's
about it.
bunch of snow bunnies up there. That's why I say, it kind of remind me of that Austin, Texas, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? High end class of town, bunch of snow bunnies for sure. And last but not least on the list, Seattle, Washington. I've been up there too. I haven't been around the city, but this was just a list of you know, where they say some of the finest women are. Um, I definitely want to switch gears for a second. We about to get on some real shit. Researchers say that black family reunions have declined by 47% since 1997. The main reason due to elders passing away and unsolved family issues. Um, I would say this is definitely true. Well, at least from my personal, understanding, right? It was like after my grandma passed, like the family just stopped, getting together. It was weird. You know what I mean? And now where we are in 2025, like my cousins got kids. So I got little cousins. And, now I've became like the elder almost. You know what I mean? At my age, at 42, I became like the elder. I mean, there's a few of my older cousins left, but it's crazy, man. What y'all feel about that though? Do y'all feel like black families don't get together no more?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think mainly the first part of it, the reason is because of the elders passed. Like my grandmother on both sides of my family, my grandmothers, they were like the anchor of the family.
Mhm.
You knew on Sunday you had to go to our house whether you wanted to or not. And all the first cousins grew up like brothers and sisters. And all of them came from Louisiana. And so they would make sure they would have family reunions yearly to stay in touch with their brothers and sisters. And they brought their clan with them. Each clan. So we all got to know each other. But once the older elders started passing, the anchors of our family started passing, we didn't really see it to be as important as they did. And now, the older I get, I understand why they understood that it was so important to have family reunions, to keep their family connection, um, to be connect with the loved ones, to know
Yeah.
why you here, to know you have blood across the country that's really tight and close to you. It's almost like a lot of us are strangers now, and that's sad.
Yeah. No, that's real, man. It's sad. Definitely sad. P, what you think about it, man? Do you feel like, you agree with Milo on this?
Yeah, I do. I do, and I was mentioning to Milo a few weeks ago about trying to put something together for our side. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we ain't had one since what 2000. That was in Baton Rouge. That's been 25 years ago.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. And hopefully, within that time of 25 years, not too many family members have passed. I think that's the messed up part about it. It's like because it's not enough family reunions or family gatherings, we only see each other at the funerals. You know what I mean? That becomes,
So the
the
funeral be
new
like a funeral smash, mini family reunion, almost. Yeah, you're right.
exactly.
But that's our fault though. I mean, a lot of us, not everybody in a position to, be able to travel and do things, but you know what I'm saying? That's where the unity falls apart at where instead of seeing, okay, you can't get there, well, let me know when you can. If everybody had the mentality where we was all a community and all get together and look out for each other, because we know that person will look out for us when we down, we get back to being on that, we'll get back together.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, but
definitely one way.
our my family they have a but we get it happen. We get one or two hotel rooms on and how we do it. So if money wasn't an issue. I think having the will to do it is more of an issue. Understanding the importance is more of an issue. I just really think a lot of us don't think it's important. But where I'm at now, I know it's
Yeah.
Yeah, you you
No.
you're right. I agree with you. It's important, but I think the most part I'm talking about like for a lot of the younger ones. I'm talking about the 28 to 45 range. The family members around that age that probably got 2 or 3 kids, and we gotta recognize too the ones that's probably single parents. Say for instance, if I throw a family reunion in California, first thing they gonna say is, "Damn, that's gonna be a lot of money."
Yeah, I mean, but if if the family was tight like that, they'll be able to
Well,
save
we
up
could
no,
take
something.
yeah, we could take a lot of them costs off the table. Say, look, y'all
Yeah.
just get here. You ain't got to worry about housing. We ain't got to
Yeah.
worry about food. We're gonna be at the family reunion. Just get
Yeah.
here.
I
Exactly.
mean,
That's what I was saying. It's on us. Like like I say, like not talking about us on the air, but saying like as far as people, like we are the problems because if we can start directing people back to that, to that mind frame to where we can get back to that.
yeah, real talk, real talk, real
That's
talk.
true. That's true.
It should be able to like, your cousin come in town. Hey, man, it's old school, man. Hey, listen, there's a couch over there. That shit, we'll get, we can go to Walmart, get you a blow up bed. You got kids, sleep in the room with my kids. We get them, you know what I mean? Like, it's ways around it. It's just got to be actually done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually taken care of. That's the sad part. Like I said, like, the family reunion has become the funeral. And I think we should get out of that definitely, for sure. 100%.
The
Facts.
elders used to get mad if you came in town and went get a hotel room. They felt offended. You can't stay in my house. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? We'll make a pattern
Facts.
for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll make the floor soft for your ass, goddamn it. I got to put two blankets down there, get your ass on the floor and the pillow. We're gonna stay up half the night talking shit anyway.
Yep. Like you
And
say, they
and he right about that. Not to cut you off, bro. Shit, you every time we came down to Texas or on my daddy's side in Arkansas, shit. When they find out we was coming down, me, my mama, my grandma, do you think it was what hotel y'all staying at? They was fighting to see who house you was staying at.
yeah, real talk. I would love for us to get back to them old ways, man, them old days, man. They are much needed in this time. Technology is taking over and they frying the kids' brains. We know that. And it's like people our age, we just, like I said, we become the elders. Now we
Yeah,
got to go out there into this world to go make it happen. So, times are changing, man. But I definitely, miss the days you can go to Big Mama house and they anytime I went to Dallas, Texas, like I told y'all, that's where my people from. Nigga, my uncles done went out there and caught some fish. Grandma in the kitchen with a fucking fork, nigga, scraping. Nigga's fish scales flying everywhere, nigga. You know what I'm
with a
saying?
fork.
Yeah, with a fork. You know what I'm saying? Like, we finna eat some fish for dinner. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Real shit. Like,
And
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
man.
know what you're talking about.
that's how it's supposed to be, man. You know what, Milo? That's why I say like there's a little boy. That's why it's important for things like that because this is the type of shit I remember as a little kid from following my mom around down south. Like, so that's why looking at stuff different, leaving LA in the '90s, being able to go down south. I didn't have to look forward to just that gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen what it was like down south where everybody was having fun and where you got 100 family members and no outsiders and no problem. Everybody drinking, eating, and just laughing till 6 in the morning.
Yeah. Those
Wasn't too
days are
much sleeping going on there. You might get 3, 4 hours of sleep, but you anxious to wake up and get back to it.
yeah,
Get back.
yeah. I love it, man. That's what's needed. Like I say, it's man, good old days. You know what I'm saying? Um, I found a quote. I saw a quote. I just want to bring it up. I think this was dope. Uh, people love you, or people love how real you are until your realness holds them accountable. Read it again. People love how real you are until your realness holds them accountable. This some real walkie talkie right here. You know what I mean? Uh, what is the new real nowadays?
Some people been so involved in fake, they don't know what real is.
True.
Is that the new real?
Real was when we had principles and morals and a code we live by.
Hmm.
A code of honesty, a code of love, a code of not backstabbing your loved ones, not fucking over them.
Hmm.
And in a situation, you can use that paradigm, that map to judge each situation off of. Stay with your character, stay with your principles, and don't fuck over nobody. And that's basically the code. Everything else will fit into that. You know what I'm saying? But now we
Hmm.
treating people we love and close to us, we handle them like we'll handle somebody we don't like when we get mad at them. You gonna get mad at everybody you love, and they gonna get mad at you. Everybody gonna disappoint you, but like Bob Marley said, everybody gonna hurt you, but you have to choose who you gonna love anyway.
Right. Right. That's facts. Facts. Uh, it's just sad, man. You know what I mean? Like, man, Milo, that hit right there. You said they treat They treat their loved ones like an enemy on the street. Like that's become the new real. You know what I mean? Uh
It's
everybody out
publicized on TV.
everybody out for self. For sure in the black community, you know what I mean? It's we've been trained to hate each other, man. Y'all realize that? I mean, y'all know y'all brothers educated, you know. We've been trained to hate each other. And so the hate has become the new real. Like there is no more compassion out there. Man, I seen a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I felt bad. I'm gonna tell y'all a personal story yesterday. Driving down the street, seen a dude, you know, I guess he got his car stuck like in the dirt where he couldn't get it out. And I'm on my mission. Like something told me, pull over, but like I had to keep going because I was already on another mission. When I got to the house, I was like, man, I should have pulled over and helped that brother. I mean, or that guy. He wasn't a brother, but I should have pulled over and helped that man. Kind of had me feeling like, like fucked up, low key, but I should have kept it real and pulled over and said, fuck what I was on. I'm trying to get to where I am before the store closed, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. And apologize to the brother, whether I don't know, shit, he may catch this. You know what I mean? He may not. But yeah, man.
I mean, don't
The
feel bad. Shit, it could have went another way. That could have been a serial killer.
I mean, the odds of that,
What the fuck?
you know, I don't know.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
I
The
mean,
odds
just saying, like, I know how you feel, like, when you got that helping spirit. It's like, yeah, but, you just got to know you can't help everybody. So, hey,
I felt bad, bro. Like I got to the house, like, damn. You know what I mean? If
charge
I'd have
into
had,
the game.
if I'd have had like 2, 3 more minutes, yeah, man. Let me go ahead and get behind here and just, you know what I'm saying, or put the car behind it, and you know what I mean, get you up out of this ditch. Yeah, I
You'll
just
help them
kept.
next time, or somebody next time. Like maybe about 2, 3 years ago, my car broke down in on a busy street and heavy traffic. Air cars blowing, honking their horn at me. So I got out, put it in neutral, and started pushing. Then the
Mhm.
car got light. Man, I looked behind me. 4 brothers had to hop out their car. Was pushing the car with me. They ain't
Yeah,
hesitate.
yeah,
And they helped push me off to the side of the road into this closed business. Man, I thank them dudes, hugged them. They ain't hesitate. That
yeah.
was like God just blessed me through them brothers. And so you have to look at it like that. Of course, stay strapped if you can, but most of the time when you go in to help somebody, they'll be very appreciative. And you can read people. You still have to have the spirit of discernment. And when you walk up to somebody, you read them right quick. You understand me?
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I felt bad, but I like I say, charge it to the game. Next time I see that situation, I told myself, I got to pull over and stop. You know what I mean? Maybe what if he was trying to get home to his family? A lot of thoughts started running to my head. Like, damn, what if he late to pick his child up from practice or something? He over here stuck like Chuck. But it's all good. Yeah, man. I got this last little topic here, man. I find this so fucked up. Um, this woman's son. I'm gonna make sure I don't butcher the name. The show Du Priest. He was killed in 1990. He was unalive, excuse me, in 1998. 27 years later, somebody blew up his grave with dynamite. And it got me to thinking, like, what type of hatred do you have in your heart to do something like that 27 years later? Like,
That's crazy.
it's crazy. Like, and so I'm thinking, like, they say, the picture say it was their ops, quote unquote, right? But like, what if it was his baby mama sent somebody up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the scenario or the situation, but like, what kind of person do you have to be to want to do this? That is the most evilest, purest, hatredest thing that you could ever do on the face of the planet. I mean, there's some others that, equal up to that, but like that's psycho, yo. That's psycho.
Yeah, that was crazy. Even
Man,
even my enemy, once he dead, I'm gonna leave him alone. So that's beyond having an enemy. That's like you say, some sociopathic, psychopathic stuff right
man,
there.
man. And I felt bad for his mother for having to, endure that again, right? Like she already had to bury her son. Like, but having to come back to the gravesite because of that, you know what I mean? It's beyond me, man. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, man. We about to get ready to get up out of here, man. Before we do, y'all know I gotta roll around the panel on the P. Cool Daddy Milo. 100P, man, get the people some news they can use until they see you Monday, brother.
Me pay attention to what's going on around you. Like the late great LA activist, rest in peace, Mr. Terry Anderson from KRLA radio out here, AM radio for back in the days. He would always say, if you ain't mad, you ain't paying attention. So to a lot of
Mm,
people, you got to pay attention, man. Like, and I've said this before, to people getting in shape, you ain't gonna get healthy until you get mad at yourself. So it's like a lot of stuff won't happen until you get mad at yourself, because then you'll be ready to turn it around. So
that's
people get mad at yourself about how your community's been treated, how it's been treated for years, how some political parties have looked over us and all the work we've done and gave what was for us to other people. And still to this day, people are trying to fight for some shit that ain't really for them. And you got our political leaders here trying to help them out. So we got to stand up for ourselves peacefully, not violently. I say that again. It's never violence. Violently is peacefully. Um, be aware. That's all I got to say.
yeah, real talk. Appreciate you for them words, brother, of wisdom, man. Uh Big Milo, man. Get the people some news they can use, my brother.
Yes, sir. It's been a shift in the air. There's excitement in the air, electricity in the air, and a tension in the air all at the same time. I know y'all feel it wherever you at. Um, we can use that energy and capture it and use it in a positive way. Even the boogeyman Trump, where it seems like when he in office or right wing radical Republicans in office, is actually a benefit to the black community because we start looking inward. We start looking to help each other, protect each other, look out for each other. That's a positive benefit off a potentially negative situation. So keep your head on the swivel, like I always say, and just in case the tension explode, be ready to protect yourself and your loved ones. If you're not strapped, I'm a big 2A Second Amendment proponent. If you're not strapped, get strapped. Train with your strap, learn how to use it, and be willing to protect yourself and your loved ones. That's it.
Yes, sir. That is some great knowledge and wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Y'all heard what the man said, and that is no lie. You know what I mean? Um, Me personally, man, like, hey, yo, first off, I want to give a shout out to my daughter. Daddy will be seeing you soon. Uh, Today is her 16th birthday. You know what I mean? So shout out to my little one. Um,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
yeah, for sure. Um, Shout out to, Big LA. Shout out to Yogi Loco, man, the Late Hour Show podcast. Uh, West Side of the 110, 100P on Mondays, man. The Roosevelt Show, another episode again, man. It's been real. I appreciate everybody that watched. I appreciate everybody that may watch. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment to the content. If y'all got any topics that y'all want to hear us talk about, man, hit my inbox. We could chop it up. You know what I mean? Until then, it's been real. Roosevelt Show, man. We'll see y'all next Friday, man. We out of here.